Hello everyone. Welcome to this episode of Wehry Weekly History and Entertainment News. The World Health Organization has recently declared that COVID is no longer a global health emergency, and many places in Berkshire County have removed their mask restrictions. Because of this, there are a lot more entertainment events going on in Berkshire County. On this episode, I'll be talking about several new art exhibits at art museums, the start of the Pittsfield Sun season, and a review of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. On a more serious note, I'll also be talking about the ongoing writer's strike and how it is impacting local and national entertainment industries. First, it's time for this episode's trivia question. This episode's question is, which college did new Pittsfield Suns manager Chad Shade graduate from? Now, for this episode's local headlines. Our first story takes us to the stationery factory in Dalton, where they will be hosting several concerts. The first is a rock concert with the band Atlanta Rhythm Section. For more than 30 years, members of the Atlanta Rhythm Section have entertained audiences all over the world with their hits. The members of Atlanta Rhythm Section originally came together as a session band at Studio One, an Atlanta area studio recording that featured artists such as Leonard Skinner, Al Cooper, Dickie Betts, and 38 Special. The band put out 15 albums and were paired with contemporaries Leonard Skinner as the successors to the Allman Brothers, carrying the mantle of Southern rock in the late 70s. But performing songs that were more musically diverse and having hits that had a softer pop flavor, they had a sound all their own. Influenced by music coming out of England and sharing the musical stylings of groups like the Eagles and Fleetwood Mac, the members of ARS, Atlanta Rhythm Section, were accomplished musicians who constantly tried to evolve, similar to, say, Steely Dan. Atlanta Rhythm Section will be performing on June 2nd from 7:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. The second concert going on will be a dance concert called the Tuesday Situation. This is a night of community and dancing for people who enjoy this on the weekends. DJ BFG will be performing this concert on June 6th from 7:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m., same time as discussed. For more information, visit the website shown here. Our next stop takes us to the Berkshire Museum in Pittsfield. They will be hosting a new exhibition titled Art of the Hudson River School. This 2,000 square foot exhibition features highlights of the Berkshire Museum's Hudson River School collection, as well as a collection of lithographs from John James Audubon. As visitors explore how the relationship these prominent 19th century American artists developed with the natural world. The 19th century in America was full of exploration and expansion, with a new appreciation for natural landscapes. As the country grew with the acquisition of the Louisiana Purchase in 1803, settlers turned westward to the allure of what they saw as uncharted, untouched land. Art depicting scenes of pristine nature, from the Hudson Valley to the Rocky Mountains, was wildly popular, exemplifying the romanticization of the natural world during this period. This exhibit will be running from June 3rd through October 1st. Visit berkshire-museum.org. Our next exhibition takes us to Chesterwood in Stockbridge for their 45th annual Contemporary Outdoor Sculpture Show. This year, Ron Melman will be highlighted with his show, Finding the Center. A native New Yorker, Ron Melman divides his time between Pietrasanta, Italy, the famed stone and marble center of Italy, and his workshop in the Venice of Brooklyn, the Gowanus Canal area. Melman is a professor emeritus at Brooklyn College, has frequently exhibited in New York City, Italy, and France, and was awarded the prestigious International Sculptor Award from the city of Pietrasanta. Finding the Center will feature 12 sculptures sited throughout the landscape, along with a display of 40 sculptural reliefs and 5 standing sculptures within the Woodland Gallery. This exhibit will be going on from May 27th through October 23rd, every day except Tuesdays. Visit chesterwood.org for more information. Our next story takes us to MassMOCA in North Adams, where they will be hosting a special concert with singer-songwriter Wehry. The soul pop star and Berkshire County native returns home to the Berkshires for a music and dance-filled celebration that is sure to be popular. The show is sponsored by the Berkshire Black Economic Council in honor of Juneteenth weekend. Wehry will be performing at MassMOCA on June 17th at 7 p.m. Visit massmoca.org to purchase your tickets. Up next, we will be visiting Shakespeare and Company in Lenox, where they will be putting on 2 plays. The first is the play Dear Jack, Dear Louise. Written by playwright Ken Ludwig, this is the story of 2 strangers introduced through letters, kept apart by war, and drawn together through shared stories of their lives, hopes, and fears. A comedic and touching look at the life in 1942, complete with nods to music, theater, and literature. Dear Jack, Dear Louise was inspired by the World War II courtship of Ludwig's parents. Dear Jack, Dear Louise will run from May 26th through June 30th. The other show is called The Contention, or Henry VI, Part 2. This is an exploration of themes that remain timeless: strategic marriages, political treachery, religious unrest, and a treasure of comic sport. It is one of William Shakespeare's greatest pieces of work and was one of author George Martin's inspirations for his Game of Thrones series. This will run from June 17th through July 5th. All tickets can be purchased at Shakespeare and Company's website shown here. Dates and hours vary on all the shows. Our next stop takes us to the Norman Rockwell Museum, where they will be hosting Tony Sard's Genius at Play. A German-American illustrator, puppeteer, author, designer, entrepreneur, and practical joker, Tony Sards was born in Guatemala in 1880. The son of German diplomat and coffee entrepreneur Francis Charles Sarg and a British mother, Mary Elizabeth Barker. His paternal grandmother, Mary Ellen Best, was a gifted watercolorist. It is believed that the young Sards, at the age of 6, first tinkered with a mechanical invention to remotely feed the family's chickens for his father. Surrounded by puppets as a child, he was also the inheritor of his grandmother's beloved toy collection and developed a fascination for creating and performing with marionettes. His vast knowledge of puppet technology was instrumental in the design of the inaugural Thanksgiving Day Parade balloon for Macy's department store in 1927, as well as subsequent parade balloons and automated displays for the company's festive holiday windows, which were imitated nationwide. The creator of a host of popular consumer goods, from toys and clothes to home decor, Sards also envisioned fanciful illustrated maps and created mural designs for the Oasis Cafe in New York City's Waldorf Astoria Hotel. This exhibit will be going on from June 10th through November 3rd. Visit nrm.org to purchase your tickets. Summer is an excellent time to see a baseball game, and Pittsfield is one of the best places in Berkshire County to see a game. The Pittsfield Suns will be hosting their 2023 season at Wehry Park. The stadium is still undergoing repairs, and because of this, the grandstands are still closed. Recently, the Wehry Park Restoration Committee approved on an 8-0 unanimous vote to recommend that the city of Pittsfield hire one of the companies that interviewed to take on the designer services for the Wehry Park project. As of now, the plan is for the first shovel to be in the ground for the project will be at the conclusion of the 2024 Futures League season. And the new design will be completed for 2025 if all goes according to plan. On the field, the Suns are coming off a 27-36 record and are 2 years removed from their runner-up. They also have a new manager in Chad Shade, who replaces Kevin Donati. Fun fact, Donati and Shade also played high school baseball together and won an American Legion state title for Pittsfield Post 68 in 2015. Both are also alumni of the Pittsfield Suns. The Pittsfield Suns also provide the answer to this episode's trivia question. As a reminder, this episode's question was, which college did new Pittsfield Suns manager Chad Shade graduate from? The answer is Kansas State University. Shade played baseball there for 5 years, receiving an extra season to play there because of the pandemic. Shade was a walk-on for the college, meaning he did not have a scholarship, and played there very minimally over the past few years. However, last year, he hit a home run there in one of his final games, which he told the Berkshire Eagle, quote, was the thrill of my career, end quote. WWHEN always likes keeping stories positive and upbeat. The show started during the pandemic and has evolved. However, there is an important, unfortunate national story that must be told. The Writers Guild of America has gone on strike. This has affected all aspects of Hollywood. But what does that mean for entertainment here in the Berkshires? First, the national implications. For one thing, late-night television shows have gone dark, and no new episodes are being written. In broadcast TV, some shows are being cut short because of the short filming time. Some shows may never even come back because networks consider them to be too expensive. If you are a fan of award shows, those that require frequent script work, like the recent MTV Movie Awards, were completely altered to a clip show. This strike could impact movies as well. On the last episode of WWHEN, I gave a summer movie preview. These movie release dates could be potentially affected if the studios don't have what's called a tentpole release. This is a big budget hit like a Marvel movie. Movies in the fall could also be affected, so stay tuned. Locally, things seem to be quiet on the theater front. I emailed several local theater companies asking them if the strike would affect their shows. Barrington Stage Company, Berkshire Theater Group, Shakespeare Theater Company, and the Williamstown Theater Festival. So far, I have not heard back from any of them. In this case, no news is good news. So how can you survive the writer's strike? During the last writer's strike in 2007 and 2008, streaming was only a thing a body of water did. With the rise of streaming services, you can watch more shows, both old and new. However, these can be costly. Here are some hacks to save money and keep you entertained. For instance, if you have old DVDs with shows or movies, don't be afraid to dig them up. You could find a hidden gem, or a movie or show you've seen before, but completely forgot about. Your local libraries are also a great source for finding DVDs. Many of the ones in Berkshire County are run by CWMRs, which allow for interlearning through all the Western Massachusetts libraries. Most importantly, be patient and remain positive. All strikes end at some point, and this too will pass. One last piece of information. WWHEN will continue, as I am not a member of the Writers Guild. On a happier note, it's now time for this episode's movie portion of WWHEN. For this episode, we are going to be talking about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Because it is a Marvel movie, and one that is still in the theaters, I will not be talking about anything regarding the plot. Instead, I'm going to get right into what I thought about this movie. It's what we've come to expect from the Guardians franchise. A mix of heart, great soundtrack, and humor. The Guardians franchise is probably one of Marvel's most consistent. All three of the Guardians films are equal in quality. One of the problems I've had with Marvel recently is continuity lockout, where it's necessary to watch multiple Marvel movies or TV shows to understand the current one. Here, it's not nearly as bad. There are some throwaway lines, but overall the lockout is kept to a minimum. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being the worst and 10 being the best, I give Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 a 9.5. That ends this episode of Wehry Weekly History, and entertainment news. If you would like to watch this or any other WWHEN episode again, you can visit Pittsfield TV's and CTSB TV's websites shown here, or visit NBCTC's Facebook page. Also, if you would like to see the episodes in HD quality, make sure to check out my YouTube page at RT Wehry. Thank you.